Hi, my name is Jason Oliver Chang. I'm Associate Professor of History and Asian American Studies here at the University of Connecticut. I am also Director of the Asian and Asian American Studies Institute and the faculty leader of the ECE Intro to Asian American Studies program.
I'm Michelle Henry. I'm an English teacher here at Simsbury High School, and this year I am piloting the Introduction to Asian American Studies for the first year at Simsbury High. I initiated the proposal to UConn ECE program, and they approved it, and now my syllabus is a model for the ECE program. So any teachers who are interested in teaching the course, they can just they don't have to start the process because I've already initiated the course. We have Professor Chang, who is the supervisor of the program, and he will oversee the teacher training aspect as well.
Okay, so my name is Colin Ng. I am a social studies teacher at West Hill High School in Stamford, Connecticut. This is my 6th year teaching. Why Asian American Studies? Representation matters. I think a big thing for people is that when you grow up, you want to have role models to be able to kind of model yourself after. When I grew up, role models on TV that looked like me were one of two things: either a nerd that was really good at math and very socially awkward, or someone who knew kung fu or karate. I am neither of those two things, and so it's really hard for me to find my place. And so for me, knowing that being an Asian American is as complex as it's ever been, with things like the model minority myth and also this weird discrimination against Asian students in a variety of ways, and then Asians also being spoken about as a monolith, kind of like Latinos and Americans. Like Asians are biggest continent with the largest population in the world. Asians are very different. So for me, it's the more knowledge, the better, in spreading the idea of the Asian American and the vast experiences and the groupings of people and the influences that we have all over the place. It just became a subject that we could really get into the nitty-gritty. A lot of high school courses are very surface level. You know, here's your survey course, here's some dates, here's some people, this is what happened, let's move on. Whereas Asian American Studies, having that focal point, kind of like the African American and Latino Studies course that was passed by the Connecticut House as well, allows you to really get into the weeds about a specific population. And so you could see them when they came to the United States, what that experience is like, how that experience transitioned to what we have today. It's fun to look at. And I think for students, it's easier to learn about because you can always base it in a very specific group of people, whereas a lot of history courses, you're just jumping around way too much.
So my name is Zachary Knowles. This is actually only my 2nd year here at EO Smith. And it was only last year that I went to get my ECE certification. So this experience in ECE is brand new to me. Thus far, I've really enjoyed it. I guess one thing that kind of drew me to this course, to Asian American Studies in particular, I can't say that I had an extremely deep desire necessarily to specifically focus on Asian Americans, but I am somebody who very much is passionate about discussing issues of anti-racism and trying to sort of incorporate that into education in various ways. And I think that this is an excellent vehicle for doing that, right? And of course, the express focus on Asian Americans is really important because traditionally there is less focus on Asian individuals and Asian American contributions than maybe other ethnic groups, at least over the last few decades.
Another great thing about this course is that it helps each school satisfy the Asian American Pacific Islander Studies mandate for high schools, right? So being able to offer this, as a real accomplishment for the district, for the high school, and it brings the school district into compliance with this new mandate. It'll go in effect in 2025. So this is a really, established program that builds credentials and expertise for teachers that allow them to continue to grow and offer new courses, and it helps to satisfy this statutory mandate. Asian Americans are often in the position where they're having to introduce themselves, always, to everyone, explaining why they're here. Kids shouldn't have to do that. right? And so this course, I think, is a part of a broader kind of social, cultural, educational work we need to do in order to not put those kinds of burdens on students. And so when we do that, I think we notice all different kinds of growth that come out of that. I ask new questions, have new forms of confidence and agency. And I think students will find, different purpose, something that guides them. Really, the thing that's so fascinating about Asian American studies is that it's constantly changing, because Asian America is constantly changing. And so when we engage with what that means, students can connect with that in really exciting ways. So Connecticut is a special place to do this, and we can't rely on what other states have done, predominantly on the West Coast, because our Asian American communities in Connecticut look really different and have different histories. So that's where I see this course and getting engaged in certifying and building up an awareness of your community and building a syllabus that matches your school and your strengths, I think is a really tremendous way for opportunity for teachers to expand the curriculum and develop some new skills.